Hey everybody, this is Manadog here with another Starcraft Underground League Season 2 cast. This cast is going to be from the finals match that was played between Team Savage and Team Chaos. We have Terran actually playing Protoss for this one for Team Savage, and Ricehat for Team Chaos. He'll be playing Terran. The first map is Polestar, so let's start the match. Takes a sec to, let's see. Oh, I'm not capturing the game, that's why. Oh, there we go. Okay, so as said, Terran will be playing Protoss in this one. He's the purple Protoss spawning in the top right. And then we have Ricehat spawning in the top left as Terran, the blue Terran in this one. I assume that Mick played Protoss in this one for two reasons. One, because everybody hates TVT, and two, because all Terran players assume that PvT is incredibly easy and that they can beat anyone in that matchup. So we'll see if that's true. Both these players know each other pretty well. They're both pretty active in PL community, which is like a lower level league. I think Ricehat matches in general are always very popular. People like to watch him play. He's kind of markets himself as Artosis at home. But these are both two really good guys, and let's see if they can put on a good one. So fairly standard so far. Looks like Ricehat is leaving a gap for his barracks in there. I always mess this up and put it too close, so I just stopped doing this because I'd have no sim. And then Mick is starting his gateway. This is like very close to the Nexus. I think usually you do this a little farther up. I don't know if it matters too much. It's obviously not going to be like a forward gateway that would be here, although the rush distances on this map are very short. So if it were that, it could be very good for him. But it just looks like he's going for a goon first here. He's got his gas thrown down. He's going to scout. Don't know if this is a standard gas timing to scout after your gas like this. I mean, obviously it's not. You're not going to like steal a gas or anything. That would have to be much earlier. And then Ricehat scouting in the opposite direction, right? This is the closest natural, and he would actually first scout Mick. Do that. Mick did the same thing though. He scouted in kind of the reverse direction. It's going to work out for him. Okay, here's the core coming down for Protoss. So again, very standard. Pylon. Alright, we will soon find out if it's possible for Ricehat to win this matchup via his factory timing. It's after 2:30, so this is obviously a Protoss win, but we'll see how he does in game 2. Chase away the probe. So I think Ricehat typically likes to play like very standard styles, so we'll probably just see something like a 5-fac out of him. He's not very cheesy at all, like hardly ever. Mick actually has more variety to his play, particularly when he plays Protoss. I think he likes to try and bully with gateway units, which, as most Terran players off racing as Protoss for PvT like to do, they have years built up of the pain of losing to one Zealot, and they try to push that on other people. Okay, factory's almost done. Should be seeing a CC from Ricehat soon. Send these Marines out. Get our Vulture started. This will probably make the CC. We have the Goon chasing the SCV instead of pressuring. Generally, you want to take these Marines and set them in a line. Yep, he's doing that. Good job. Our SCV is back into gas now that our CC is started. He's making depot, which is right. Just gotta get these guys back in gas so that we have enough for mines in a tank. Nexus is down. Let's compare the timing. So the CC is slightly faster, which is always great for Terran. Typically, as Terran, you're just trying to get them like as close as possible, I think. And if like Protoss is a little bit faster, then that's generally okay, or generally to be expected. But Terran is ahead here. We are crucially still not putting more SCVs up. There he goes. Okay, finally realized it. So we got our shop going. Although I think by the time this finishes, will probably be fine on gas, so maybe maybe this was like a late shot, but I just didn't realize it. That's probably what happened. Armory is down. Yeah, so here's mines, here's the tank. Pretty normal. He's not getting pressured anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. Second gateway. There's the robo. It looks like the robo was placed first, which I think is normal. Both players doing a reasonable job with their SCVs and probes. Here's our eBay. Armory, then eBay. But there's no reason to think that there's any sort of, one base like a DT or a Reaver or anything like that coming. There's the 3 gates, very safe. We probably see our observatory coming down, probably here. Gotta keep making SCVs. Ricehat is kind of blind, so he's putting down his turret. Mines are almost done. We should see him start marking the 3rd. That probably blocks. Okay, here's the observatory. So Mick is just playing this very standard so far, which I think is kind of odd. I feel like most of the time when you see a Protoss off-race and play PvT, they look to just do like abusive things. Like their mind just kind of like cycles through all their most painful ladder moments, and then they try to mimic some of that, but Protoss just playing very honorable and respectful here. I haven't mentioned it, but there's been some kind of minor supply blocks, but everything kind of humming along normally. Observer on the way. Yep, so we're gonna go see about clearing this mine, place our 3rd, be on time 3rd. Hopefully we don't let the probe eat this mine when we try to take it. That's alright. We have the observer, so I mean we could just waited 2 seconds and not taken the whole damage on the goon, but this is fine. Ricehat's build, well underway. Good academy timing. Factory timing, second factory is reasonable. We got siege. I don't know if we have vulture speed. I guess we'll see next time one of these moves. The observer trying to get in there. A lot of goons. And we're not really progressing our gates or our tech. Beyond that, I think we're getting to the point where we need to have a citadel. And we lose the first observer, so we're going to be pretty blind here. So both the probes and the SCVs are light at this point, but we should see comsats coming down soon. Then as the comsats are making is typically when you throw down factories 3, 4, and 5. Let's see. Definitely afford it. Okay, he's going for a little bit more economy first. Mick is pretty light on probes here. He's taking a 3rd base. He should have more like 50, but he's hovering. He's at 38 right now. He definitely needs an observer with this army if he's going to start walking around with goons, because it can definitely turn into disaster otherwise. Take a whole bunch of shield and hull damage on these for no reason. Okay, we should be able to get legs soon. We have vital observers sitting there. We're very worried about vultures. Okay. Yeah. As expected, Ricehat just going for the 5-fac. Started his armor. He's got how many? 6 tanks. That's pretty good. He doesn't have any Goliaths, but it's okay because Mick is not making shuttles or anything that flies besides observers yet. Adding a 6th factory. It's kind of late for the 6th factory if you were going to push. So at this point you would kind of decide if you want to be taking a 3rd, then you would place a CC, and you would send, after the CC, you'd put down the next 3 factories to go up to 8 if you're going to sit. This is a lot of goons, so I think this is like too many goons, actually, if anything. Okay, this is a control group and a half. We're also very light on gates. Gonna add some more gates. I think we need to go up to like 8 here. Legs need to be done, so this stuff would not be ready for a normal 5-fact timing push, and Nick would definitely be in some trouble. Also, the supplies are very close. Protoss should have a comfortable supply lead at this point in the game. Although, if you do look, one nice thing is Mick has caught up on his probes pretty well. And Ricehat is kind of still behind, but getting better in that facet. Okay. I don't know if we need all this gas yet, but we do finally have our 8 gates up. That's huge. We need to be getting an archives and a starport pretty soon, I think. Like, this looks like we're just going for a very, very standard arbiter, gateway man arbiter play. Finally adding some zealots, yeah, because we're very heavy on goons right now, and Ricehat is pushing. Good timing to have some zealots out, but I don't think we're gonna have the zealot numbers we need for a push like this. This is a pretty scary push. Preparing against the backstab. 6 factories. There's no CC on the way, so this is... Ricehat is hoping to end the game here. Nice start. Yeah, all these goons are gonna kind of melt here. Yeah, I think we just didn't have enough zealots, and the zealots weren't really involved in the fight. Yeah, these tanks are putting in a lot of work here. Mick may clear this, but this is like catastrophic damage in terms of his army. And Vulture's rallying. It's probably going to be enough. So usually you want to keep these goons alive and try to like duck them back as you produce more zealots, because you really need the zealots to fight and get in there. And zealots produce quickly, goons kind of take a while for what they are. Tanks are moving up. There's still no CC anywhere from Ricehat, so his intention is to win the game with this. Okay, we got some zealots on top of the tanks here, which is nice. Ultimately, though, we are going to lose those. We're just pumping more zealots at this point, so as long as Ricehat is just rallying vultures, that should be enough, I would think. Probably want to throw down a turret or two here. Looks like he's doing that. It's a good play. I'm a little scared with how close these mines are to our tanks. It's definitely like an opportunity for... Okay. He's going to try and drag it. Almost disastrous, but it's okay. Both players macroing well. Ricehat just reinforcing his push. He's pretty committed to ending the game with this. If you look at the supply, it looks like he's en route to do that. Once Terran's creeping ahead of the Protoss supply, you kind of know Protoss is in trouble. But they're just going back and forth and fighting. We have some nice mines here. There are no observers over here, so we're just blind on these mines. This is pain right here. You definitely need to, maybe not this one, because there's turrets right there, but you definitely want to have an observer that you can pull in here, yeah, because you're just going to eat these continually if you don't. And if the mines are hitting correctly for Terran, I mean, mines are insane. So your solution to mines can't be to just eat them. So Mick will call good game, game 1. So that's a 1-0 lead for Ricehat. Okay, let's see what Act 2 is going to be. Okay, looks like knockout. Alright, let's switch over. Yeah, so this is knockout. Okay, so Ricehat is up 1-0 in the series. He's spawning as the yellow Terran in the bottom right. And we have Mick again as purple. He's the purple Protoss in the top right. So these are close spawns, rush distance-wise. I think both of these players will probably take the close position when they scout, so they should find each other first. This can be pretty nice for Protoss if they're doing any sort of like early zealot pressure, although Mick did not do that last game. He seemed pretty content to just go into goons. Similarly, if Ricehat were to want a 2-fac or something here, it would be pretty strong in these spawns, but again, I don't think that's really his style. He kind of just wants to play standard macro games. If anything, I think Ricehat has a tendency to try and like take games longer than he should, and the fights get pretty hard at that point to control. So Mick placing his first pylon again. Again, I don't know why this pylon is so close to the Nexus. Usually you see like setting up more down here. In fact, I think this is the... Okay, so we're taking a very early gas. I don't know if this is a mistake. This has got to be some sort of like a cheese, or I don't know. You could rush an upgrade. I know there are Zerg build or like PVZ builds that like some of the UPL Protoss like to do, where they'll rush like +1, but +1 attack is like not important really in this matchup, or like not nearly in the same way. This is an incredibly early gas. I'm not sure what the... We're really going to be hurting for minerals. Our core is probably going to be very slow. So we'll see what Mick has planned, but this is maybe a little bit questionable. Again, Ricehat is just continuing very normally. So I don't really like putting the racks down here, because this sim really doesn't help you. You know, you'd have to have zealots like that for some reason went this low. Like the point of what you're doing with this, like this is nice because it gets the SCV to spawn over here closer to the minerals, but the rest of what you're doing here is you want this to be sim to fight zealots. So on a spawn like this, I think most commonly you'd probably put it up closer to the ramp, or what I like to do is I like to put like my depot here and then the racks here, and you can do that with the second depot, and you'll usually be fine. So we should have the factory coming down, we have the gas for it. Our timing, it's going to be okay. 232, it's not incredible, but it's okay. And again, I'm very confused by what this build from Mick is, because we took a very early gas, we're just like stockpiling a ton of gas, but we made it zealot for some reason. And because we took the gas first, this is a late zealot, so like he scouted cross spawn also. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I guess he had some sort of like build choice, like a pathing choice, where if it was cross spawn, maybe he was going to do something different. Maybe this is like a very fast DT. I don't know if I've seen like a very fast DT try to go for gas before gateway though. Like if you look at how much gas, no, he's getting a goon. I guess usually you get 1 or 2 goons when you go DT. But like look at how much gas we have stockpiled here. I think if you just go gas after the gate like normal, you're fine. And so this is kind of what I was talking about, is Ricehat, this was only 1 zealot and he controlled it well, so it's fine, but he had no sim here to use. So if this had been like a heavier pressure from Protoss, this would have been very scary. And we're going shop first. And by the way, Ricehat, did he scout? I don't see anything. Okay, yeah, so there's a kill on the zealot. So Ricehat did scout while we were watching this, so this has to look fairly normal. Okay, yeah, so it is DT. That was the purpose of the early gas. I think this is just inexperience with Mick playing Protoss, because I don't think you really benefit at all from taking this gas early. You're stockpiling a bunch of it, and you need the gateway and the core and everything first. So I think if anything, these DTs are going to come out slower than if he had taken the gateway first. And Ricehat is expecting pressure. He's getting a tank. He has no vulture, but he's getting mines. The vulture coming up. Okay, so this is like maybe like an FD that we're doing here. Yeah, I think this is an FD. So Ricehat should be looking to take a CC behind this. Yeah, it's dumb of me to not have recognized this faster. Okay, and we're also getting a Nexus. I I continue to be perplexed by this build for me. Like, we're going DT and Nexus, but it's not like a fast Nexus. But we don't have any kind of an eBay or anything from Ricehat, so I mean there is, like, the DT is going to do something, because basically Ricehat's only answer to it right now is mines. Okay, yeah, we don't need to be really pushing these forward, we just need to get a great place for the bunker. This one's better placed. Probably, I guess it's already there, you don't need to cancel it, but I mean, we're gonna get this Nexus. These DTs are still a little bit of ways off. And I guess we will just hope that this is enough mines in between to prevent the DT from walking all the way over, because we are light years away from any sort of detection. We've got a few vultures and we've put mines down, which is nice. So we'll basically just be relying on good mine hits to survive these DTs for now. Okay, we're also getting shuttle. Okay, so this is like shuttle DTs, but he knows there's DTs now, so I'm sure that Ricehat is going to put eBay up any second. Yeah, that's an eBay right there. So the surprise is gone. I don't know. Again, I think this is kind of questionable. He wants to retake his Nexus. But if you're going for a shuttle here, which has to be what this was supposed to be a DT drop. I think now that he knows there's DTs, that's going to be a lot less effective. So we're pressuring with our goons. Okay, this is okay. That could have been disastrous. That's pretty lucky right there. That we have that one mine, and that it was on a DT that died to one mine. Okay, but yeah, I mean, Ricehat completely has this mapped. And we don't have a shuttle coming anyway, so this is going to be like walking DT and goon pressure, but yeah, we have siege. So I mean, this is going to be like horribly inefficient. As Ricehat, we need to block this. I don't know, there was maybe something to do here with a shuttle. Yeah, I don't know, just an odd build is what I would say. Like, we have no workers, we mined a lot of gas, and then we didn't do anything significant with it. But Mick's a fighter, so he's staying in this game, he's gonna see what he can get done. Okay, we have all the tech on one base currently, and we have 19 probes, so I don't know, I think some sort of tech that Terran is unable to deal with is really the shot here, and we've already revealed our DTs. Ricehat is like all in on detection, as he should be, so yeah, things are looking pretty dire for Mick. Ricehat is maybe still a little low on production, but he's adding another factory right now. Doesn't have any ability. Okay, Goliaths are going to be coming out soon. Yeah, trying to brainstorm like what Protoss could possibly do from this position to have a shot. So it's not a one base arbiter. He's taking this Nexus, but in terms of like his mining, I'm not sure he's mined a mineral from down here. Yeah, so like functionally this is like one base DT arbiter, but also we bought 2 Nexuses so far. Yeah, so I mean Ricehat probably can't know that position, although he did scan once at least. No, he scanned twice. Okay, so maybe he does know. Maybe he might be curious that there's maybe something hidden on the map. I don't know. Everything we're doing here as Mick is like we're kind of looking to tax detection. It's just that we did so after telegraphing that we wanted to tax detection. So in the flurry of it all, Ricehat is a bit low on SCVs, but because of where Protoss is, he's still in like a relative good shape. I mean, he could probably push out, and in the near future, if he just starts like just pumps from these, Saves up his scans, although he's using his scans. Now we have all the tech. We've actually trapped probes, which is, that's a feat. I don't think, probes are not that easy to trap, Protoss buildings, but here we've gotten 2 in one spot, so. Okay, we're poking out a little bit. I think maybe Ricehat's instinct here is to try. I don't know if he's going to intend to end. If you listen to Wolfix in his latest, like his F to S and his replay reviews, he would tell you that when you get ahead like this, your goal should be to just like throw down 6 vac and just try to end it. Don't give Protoss an opportunity to find some like weird situation, like maybe they can hit a big storm drop or like something, some fluky play that, you know, gets them back into a game they should be out of. But we are pushing here. I think that's the right thing to do. I think this is smart from Ricehat. Yeah, I mean, Mick just, I don't think he has enough to fight this. So probably his chance here is again to tax detection. Ricehat, okay, there's no scans, so he needs to throw down turrets if he wants to actually continue the fight. This Arbiter, yeah, this needs to get out here. So this Arbiter is going to be able to delay things a little bit. Basically, Ricehat can only fight when he has scan energy until he gets some turrets up. We have an observer, but it's not with our forces. So it's also possible that Ricehat, you know, just puts some mines here and then Protoss walks into them. See, we definitely, yeah, we're getting turrets. Okay. So Ricehat, I think, is doing the right things. Yeah, we have another scan. As long as Terran can see Protoss units, I don't think this is winnable at all. Like these fights, this is just not enough Protoss versus the amount of Terran here. Terran has the bigger economy. He has more production. We have 5 factories against 4 gateways. That's never going to be a winning position for Protoss. I think this was just like a rough situation to come back from, where we took our gas first. I'm curious for Mick if that was a mistake or if he had some sort of build in mind that needed to do that. I don't think I've really seen that in this matchup. I think it's like it's a gimmicky thing you can do in a PvZ for like that 1+1 build. But yeah. Anyway, so that'll do it. That is a 2-0 win for Ricehat in this final series from Season 2. So thanks for watching.